You know what? I've had it. This has gone on way too long. I've tried everything. I've poisoned Jabba's water, killed his animals, swarmed his kingdom with pests, and no matter what I do, he still won't release Han.
Well, there might still be other options.
Like what?
Well, you could just appear before Jabba yourself to prove you exist and make a clear demonstration of your power. And, if needed, you could take Han by force. Or, I guess if that's too much trouble for you, you could, I don't know, stop using the Force to make Jabba disobey you?
Oh, thanks for the feedback, smartass. Or here's another idea. Maybe I could kill Jabba's firstborn son.
Whoa, wait, what? That's terrible. How does such an idea even occur to you? And what's that have to do with the problem to begin with?
Well, if hiding and causing an escalating series of plagues hasn't worked yet, then the only logical move is to try a worse plague, right?
No. Especially if you're going to keep telling him not to set Han free.
Man, you just can't let that go, can you? I repeatedly do one little thing that extends this crisis and frustrates my own goal, and that's all you can keep talking about.
Your goal? Are you even talking about rescuing Han anymore? Because as much as you like to act like that's why you're here, and you talk like you're annoyed with Jabba, it seems like your only purpose here is to make yourself look badass.
Yeah, and speaking of that, you know what would make me look really badass? If I killed everybody's firstborn. Yeah, not just Jabba's son, not just those of his henchmen, but every last firstborn child on Tatooine. The children of Jabba's slaves, those of the nearby moisture farmers.
Whoa, wait. Are you actually serious about this?
Yeah, why not?
What do you mean, why not? We're talking about children here, many of them little babies. What did they ever do to deserve this? And why the children of poor slaves?
I thought we made this perfectly clear. It's to show how badass I am.
So basically, you've come to Tatooine to gratify your ego and show off?
No. There's a much bigger picture here. For far too long, the galaxy has been held under the thumb of the evil Sith. If I'm going to bring goodness back to the galaxy, I need to show everyone how badass I am.
Goodness? What do you mean by goodness?
I mean that I'm the good guy and the Sith are the bad guys, so it's important for me to win against them, no matter what it takes.
Yeah, but here's the problem. You can't just say you're the good guy and use that declaration to justify every action you ever take. You need to demonstrate your goodness through a pattern of wise, compassionate behavior. So, when everything you've done so far seems to be based on a weird combination of vanity, personal vendetta, and jealousy, and when these motivations drive you to wildly erratic behavior that neither you nor your followers would accept from anyone other than yourself, at some point I feel compelled to ask, what makes you the good guy? So far, I've personally seen you plague an entire civilization by poisoning their water, destroying their crops, inflicting pestilence, and showering them with meteors. Now you're talking about killing their children? So while I guess you might not be worse than the Sith, by what measure are you distinguishing yourself as better?
I guess at some point you just have to trust that my ends justify my means, since I, as a Jedi, am good by nature.
What does good by nature even mean, if it doesn't sum up a history of balanced moral behavior?
Well, Lando, that's where it can get kind of complicated. See, not everything I do might seem moral according to your limited understanding of the short-term situation, but you have to look past the people here on Tatooine and think of the countless trillions living across the galaxy, and the many, many trillions more who'll be born in future generations. Ultimately, my desire is for all those people to come to an understanding of who I am, and if I can, by killing these children, help all those people understand how badass I am and thus save them from the Sith, then in reality my actions are not only justified, but perfectly wise and merciful.
Oh, good Lord! Are you really trying to tell me that this is all for the sake of some greater moral plan? And that the best way to demonstrate your power is to hide and hope everyone hears about how you murdered babies? Not only is this a roundabout and ineffective way to communicate, but it's going to cause some tremendous confusion among the people trying to understand you as a good person. Unless you're going to clearly elaborate your reasons for all of this.
Which I'm not. Look, I'm getting really bored by this conversation. Let's go over some practical issues.
Like what?
Well, if I'm going to make sure to kill the child of every Hutt, henchman, farmer, slave, and bantha...
Wait, you're also going to kill banthas?
Yeah, why? You some kind of weird animal lover all of a sudden?
No, it's just that, well, I guess I do kind of wonder why. But beyond that, the banthas are already dead. You already killed every single bantha that didn't belong to us. Then, even though you killed them once, you killed some of them again with meteors. How are you going to kill more of them now?
Yeah, still bored by your questions. So if I'm going to make sure to kill the child of every hut, henchman, farmer, slave, and bantha without killing any of you, you're going to need to do something to identify yourselves.
Why? Won't you be able to recognize who we are? I mean, you're not an all-knowing god or anything, but you should still be able to tell us apart from Jabba's people.
Just trust me on this one. You'll be safer if you do it.
Okay, so how do you want us to go about it?
Oh, I don't know. Kill animals and smear their blood all over the doors. That should do it.
Wow. We could have hung up signs or something, but your mind had to go straight to the most disturbing place possible, didn't it?
Luke shrugged and smiled as if it were a compliment. What can I say? Jedi are badass.
But what if one of us forgets to smear blood?
Simple. Then they're dead.
Okay. But what if some of Jabba's people notice what we're doing? If they smeared blood on their doors, won't you pass over them and miss killing their babies too? Luke, this is really a bad idea. I think...
Look, your part of this is really simple. All you need to do is make sure you get the blood on the door, then sit back and enjoy the ride, okay?
Listen, Luke, you don't have to do this. It's totally unnecessary. There are so many better ways to make your point. We're talking about killing babies here, and the children of innocent people. Look, even if compassion doesn't do it for you, think of what this is going to do to your reputation. How are you and your followers going to explain... You can still turn back. Luke, please.
Oh, one more thing, and this is really important. If any of you ever put yeast in your bread, you won't be able to hang out with any of us ever again.